Started the recording. All right.
So Fatima, can I start?
Yeah, go ahead, be the host.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
We are very excited. We have a highly honored guest in our midst, Mr. Dimeji Falana. He is the CEO of Edves. Some of you may be aware already that we are going to be working very closely with Edves over the next few years. And today we wanted Dimeji to join us for this session to talk more about our partnership and what this portends for every one of us, particularly you, the Black Belt. Please note, as always, this session is being recorded for information purposes, for training purposes, and everything like that. So I don't want to talk too much, but Dimeji is such one of the biggest names when it comes to EdTech in Africa, maybe the world. And this partnership with 1 Million Teachers has been long in coming. And we think that this is going to be a game-changing relationship in the education space in Africa. And there is a whole lot of nuance to this relationship that I'm not so sure that we'll be able to cover all of that today. But we wanted to set the tone by inviting Dimeji to come talk to us. So he will paint a very robust picture from a 50,000 view height about what this is all about and the opportunities for you guys as Black Belts. So Dimeji, I don't want to steal your thunder. I would just leave it to you to take the reins. And I'm sure at the end of your talk, some people will have questions. In fact, many of us will have questions that would help provide a little more clarification about Edves and what Edves does. So over to you.
Okay, thank you, Akeem. Thank you, everybody. I think I can see Miss Fatima here. Okay, I can't see her again.
Yes, I'm here. Nice to see you again.
Yes,
hello.
Nice meeting you, and Risma. It's a pleasure to be here. And just once again, my name is Dimeji Falana, and I'm passionate about education. I am a trained software engineer, just by background, and also I moved into business. Today I've been invited to interact with you, and I'm excited because if there is any set of people that have actually trusted me, trusted our company, or given us opportunity to actually be who we are, I believe this is the I'm in the midst of you people, which the educators. So, and if there's anything like a validation or anything like adoption for Edves, it has always been because the teachers have trusted us. And that's why I'm very happy that when Akid told me that I'll be meeting the 1 million teacher Black betas, and I don't know if I will start my home bet. Maybe I'll start from white bets, and then between white bet and black bet, it's a long journey. So thank you very much for your time this evening. And just a little bit about Edves. A lot of people might have been hearing about Edves. Edves started in the university when I was in third year. 2009, University of Ilorin, with my co-founder, who happened to be a course mate then. And then, I was a software, developer geek, on campus. I used to sit in front of computer system for 7-10 hours a day, typing and just trying to create all sorts of codes and programs on my system. And so Dari happened to be someone that goes out a lot. He meets a lot of people regularly and makes friends easily. So he came into my room one day and saw one of the websites I was building for an aviation company in Lagos. And he loved the way I built the website. He fell in love with everything I was doing. And it's like, oh, guy, I don't know that you've gone this far ahead of us, even though we're in the same computer science class. You have taken your own study to the next level. So, and that was just a joke, and we left. So a few days after, he called me and said, there's a particular thing that is coming up that he wants me to pay attention to. That there's a particular school director in Ilorin that was inheriting a school from a parent that, the parent was old, and then, the lady had to step in for the mother so that the private school can continue to run. So, but they were having challenges, two major challenges they were having. Number one was the fact that the grading system, I'm sure when you see CA1, CA2 and all those stuff, so the teachers, they were using different rubrics. They were using the primary 2 teacher, 2A is using different rubric from 2B and stuff, and parents were complaining that there's no standard. And then also at the same time, because they are fee-paying schools, the accountant of the school also were complaining for about 40% debts, unrecovered because of the way the parent pay school fees. Some parents, maybe they are supposed to pay 100,000, they pay 50,000 this time. They beg that they will balance next time, and they pay 25,000. And so it was just difficult for them to reconcile the defaulting and then to reconcile with the bank. So these are two major challenges, which I believe that if parents pay school fees and they're unable to get a report card, they're able to see learning outcomes, they don't know what they're paying for. And then if the school set up with a lot of money and they cannot capture revenue properly, the school will collapse. So those two major problems were actually what started Edves. And we didn't call it Edves then, because even the first version of the software we built was called ISMS. And after a week, it failed. So we deployed, it failed. And then we went back there and they were like, no, you guys are, then we apologized. And then we went back again. We corrected all the mistakes, and then everything is fine. Everything became very okay. And since that 2009, we've changed different version of the software till date. And the same school has still been using Edves till date. And that is how many years now? That should be about 13 years in a row now. They've digitized everything for 13 years. So what made Edves to be Edves today is because of the fact that we try not to take the feedback of teachers for granted. We try not to walk away from teachers. We work very, very close with teachers. We work very, very close to the school directors to get feedback to make sure that we get better. So what is Edves? So Edves is a combination of school management system and a learning management system plus embedded finance. And what do I mean by embedded finance? So embedded finance is in education, and Edves implementation is more of allowing the school to be able to capture revenue just when the schools are able to set their bills on Edves, and then it links them to where they can put in their card, parent can put in their card to pay. So that's how we capture revenue for school. So over the years, we've worked successfully to digitize over 1,600 schools in 10 African countries with over 29,000 users, teachers on our platform, over 190,000 parents, and over 400,000 students using our platform as of today. We have a big ambition, and the ambition is around the challenge that I know you understand. In Africa, there will be about 1 billion students that will need education by the middle of the century, which for now, I'm talking about Africa now, 1 billion students will be in Africa in the age of K-12, that's primary and secondary school, that will need education. And for now, we know that there are challenges around education here and there, and there are interventions at the same time. But the reason why we built Edves is to make sure that we have the digital infrastructure that is creating transparency along the learner's journey, so that from enrollment all the way to graduation, we can see data on enrollment, we can see data on attendance, we can know assessment, we can see, so that at the end of the day, teachers, parents, and administrators can have collaboration, proper collaboration on students' education generally, so that at least students with tendency of falling behind, the data can show And then students that need any support in any area, even the teachers, right from the classroom, you'll be able to see from that angle. And because in Edves, we have a lot of assessment, we have a lot of features, but I'm not here to sell Edves, but I'm just here to just let you know about Edves for those that are hearing about Edves for the first time. And then if this is not your first time hearing about Edves, so maybe one of the things I just want to say every time I meet educators is that educators have actually trusted us, and you guys have made us who we are today. And then that's why when I had a conversation with Akim of 1 Million Teacher, and said, this is what we are here to do. We just have to do it because we believe that even sometimes when we build features in Edves, we don't roll out until we are able to talk to some teachers on our network to say, please interact with this thing. Is it making sense? Because we know that even if you bring $10 million into education technology and we don't get feedback from teachers before we roll out, we will waste everybody's time. We will waste money. We will waste the time of teachers, and then we can even impact the students negatively. So that's why working with teachers and supporting you for what you do is core to everything that we want to do, and we'll always, every time when there is a call for it. So, and that is just about our ambition, and the vision of the company is to reimagine education and to make learning simple and making learning easy, with a mission of building technology solutions that will always support the teachers. Because I'm of the opinion that not even in 20, 30 years to come, we might not see a situation whereby a physical teacher will not be needed in education at any level, because a lot of things are happening in the global space where AI is coming here and there. But I'm still of the opinion that the teacher should lead whatever intervention that needs to happen in education. It is AI, it is quantum computing, or any form that can that people want to deploy to teach the students, the teachers should take the lead. So with Edves, we partner with 1 Million Teachers, and a lot of things will be happening in the next 2 years. So we're aiming for a big move. We're aiming for a big impact in this space. Also, Edves Catalyst is another program that we are bringing together in partnership with 1 Million Teachers to actually gather a lot of school directors and teachers together to discuss contemporary challenges and then traditional challenges that are affecting the quality of education delivery in Africa, so that when those things are discussed and then new notions of ideas will come, and then we can go back and then implement in our school. So that's what Edves Catalyst is all about, and everybody is invited. And also, this partnership is going to give us opportunity to do some sort of share of prosperity, because I can remember in the last 1 year, we've given out close to 10 million naira in different commissions to people that have actually referred Edves, and that's to a few sets of people. So I don't know if anybody has been following. There's a particular campaign that we ran some days ago that we plan to give 40 million naira out to referrals. And when we say referrals, we're not just saying things that we're not going to put to practice. So what we are saying is that if you learn how to use Edves on this program, 1 Million Teacher program, and then you are able to integrate Edves successfully in your school, then it is easy. What comes back to you is the bonus that will give back as a form of commission, which definitely is part of the 40 million naira commission roller that we put on the table for everybody, so that everybody is incentivized, everybody is empowered towards doing the good that we want to see in the education space. So, and that is a little bit of things I want to share on share of prosperity. So, Akim, over to you, so that I don't have to talk too much in the midst of teachers. So, you need to, Akim, yeah.
Thank you, Dimeji, for that overview. This is fantastic. I think we at 1 Million Teachers, this is something that we've always talked about. It's not just about training anybody, but we talk about empowerment. And empowerment means a whole lot. In fact, the Black Belt program itself, when the people who are here today, the teachers who are here today, the Black Belts, we let them know as much as we can that, see, you've only done the phase one of what this whole program is. The support is for life. It's lifelong. The stage where we are right now is the beginning of phase two, which is the journey to empowerment. And there are all kinds of things. One of the ways we want to measure ourselves, our successes, even apart from the self-efficacy point of view, knowledge building point of view, we want to be constantly able to ask ourselves, how have we provided livelihood in one shape or the other to the teachers? So there's a livelihood framework that we look at, a little stipend there. And we always say this, me, Rizma, Fatima, and others, we always tell teachers, like, see, first of all, let your motivation be intrinsic. And nobody should do this for money. They have to do it for the love of their profession, for the love of teaching. Whatever comes in as a result of all of what you're doing, let it be the icing on the cake. And there are all kinds of rewards that comes with it. And when you do good work, you don't worry. Somehow the universe aligns in your favor. People are watching you, and the reward comes one way or another. But please sow the seed. Believe in your work. Love your students. You understand? Do everything that you can to be the best that you can be. We, 1 Million Teachers, along with all the numerous partners we work with, we are motivated to enable you, to help you along that journey. So the Edves opportunity beyond, first of all, I know, and we talked about this, sorry, there are people joining, so it's kind of distracting for me. I'm trying to admit them. But one of the things we spoke about all the time, Dimeji, even you and I, is about how do we put tools in the hands of our educators in a way that makes their life easy. A lot of the work that most teachers do is on admin activities. How can we take that pain away from them so that they can focus on the core, the reason why they exist, the reason why they show up every day, which is teaching. Teaching, just that, and every other thing should be tools to enable, and that's what EdTech is all about. And what is most attractive for us with all of the Edves, the suite of products that Edves has, is that they are designed to make life easy for teachers, designed to make life easy for parents, designed to make life easy for schools. You understand? Lesson planning, assessment, attendance, all of that. So my primary aim for this partnership is, how do we make life easy for our Black Belts? That's one. How do they learn to use, how do they get comfortable with using all manner of digital tools to save them all the headache, you understand, that comes with assessment, the attendance, and all the things that, so that they spend more time and have few time to do other things, spend more time actually spending with the student, because ultimately teaching is about heart. In fact, almost any profession is about the heart. How much face time do you have with the kids rather than spending time on admin work? So my hope from this partnership is that's the first part of my hope, is that all our teachers, all our Black Belts are able to use all of these kind of suite tools and products, you understand? And we want to make it available for every one of them. In addition, now for them to say, okay, now I know this. In marketing, we say that when you feel like something works for you, makes your life easy, you have a moral obligation to spread the message so that other people can benefit. So how can the schools where they work also benefit? But back to our livelihood framework is that we find ways to incentivize every one of these behavior. How can we make sure that we also put money in the hands of our Black Belts? And Dimeji, I know you talked about it, 40 million. Oh, by the way, there are many teachers that are not necessarily from Nigeria here. So while building a global audience, even though we know that the majority in our program right now are from Nigeria. So that's my follow-on comment, Dimeji, if you want to take over from there.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for reminding me. We know I know that definitely there are people that are not from Nigeria, and then that's definitely going to be interpreted properly. And that's just about $60,000 that is on the ground for commission to be given to teachers that can refer their schools, but not necessarily like referring, but using the learning to use the platform and then also getting the school where you work to use the platform, because it's not just about saying you should sell Edves. No, it is like you should learn how to use Edves, then integrate it for your school. That is more way to actually go about it. Digital transformation of the school where you work. And if you look at it very well, digital transformation is no longer a breaking conversation anywhere that we're discussing it in any sector. So digital transformation has been around for a long time. And I'm sure a lot of us, we are not new to whatever we call digital transformation, either in education or any healthcare or any form. But what we are talking about is the digital transformation that can be something in your own hand as an educator. Because Akim was talking about some things, and I know that there are quite a number of things that happen in a typical school in a day, where students come to school, then you have to plan their lesson plan before you come to the school. And in some schools, we still have some of these things done with pen and paper, just because even though government still require that you do some of these things with pen and paper, and then because when they come to school, the regulators want to see what you have done, and then they want to mark those things, they want to see how it's been marked and stuff like that. But that is changing gradually. It's changing gradually. We're working with government, we're trying to sell the ideology that what is most important for a teacher should be that face time with the student, should be that one-on-one with the students, because there's so much we can do if we have enough time for the students, enough of all this attendance marking with hands and reporting done with pen and paper, or very complex Microsoft Excel somewhere or something. But we can actually take away all these things by just profiling the class properly, and then delivering the lessons to students and capturing assessments in an electronic format. And this can actually be done on mobile app, where, something close to WhatsApp, where you can just enter your data, and then the data can actually flow in, and a report can happen within a click of button. And marking attendance as well can also be done with mobile app, where you can just take a picture of a class, and then through facial recognition, the attendance is marked. And assessments, reporting, communication with parents. I know of different principals of different schools that they still take all those very big hard copy papers home to go and sign, or maybe to look at the report before they can release to parents to take it home. So those things actually take time, and they steal our precious time away. They make the teachers to overwork. The profession of teaching should be more like 80% of your time should be with the students, and maybe the remaining 20% is just to plan and prepare for the class. And computers should come in, hardware, mobile phone, tablets should come in to help our work in different ways. And this is not only even for Africa, because I know even in the US, here in the UK, we still have teachers that run around with pen and paper that do a lot of things outside of actually interfacing with the student. And that is one of the things that we are trying to see how some of these tools can be in our hands. And then in a very, very efficient way, you have incentive to use the product. You will have the training on how the product is being done, how the product is being run, and then you will be able to have first-hand experience. And then you can now be the ambassador, the agent that will take this technology back to your school. And also not even about Edves alone, because Edves is a digital infrastructure. We also have partnership with a lot of organizations that are also doing different things in EdTech that can also be of help and benefit to you. Just imagine a situation when a parent sits at home and then they just get an SMS that the report for second term 2022-2023 academic session is out, and then the link to the result is there, and then you just tap on the link, and then the parent have access to it. That way, there's no need for the parent to come to school to come and pick the result. And the students, in most cases, that tell lies about their grades, or they keep their results in some public schools, will not be able to do so. these things are not new, but to some people, but we still have to find a way that even if you are deploying technology solutions, they don't become too cumbersome, they don't become another work for the teachers, because I've seen situations whereby some of these technologies are even built without input of the teachers. And at the end of the day, there's always a sweat for the teachers. So instead of reducing the work of the teachers, then the work become much more. So, but that has been taken care of, and then we can always look out for ways in which some of these things can become better, and then we improve how we go forward generally. So this partnership is coming with a lot of opportunity. I believe so much in 1 million teachers, and even when Akim came to Manchester to meet me a couple of weeks ago, I think Ms. Fatima was there. We spoke at length over so many things, and let us just be committed to this, and let us unlock these opportunities together. When we call for a meeting, when we call for training, when we call for anything, please, let's try this out. Let us do this, let us do that. Let us always be cooperative. I mean, let us cooperate. Let us support each other. Let us try things out. Let us encourage each other, so that the kind of result we want to get in education space, we are able to get it at the end of the day. And feedback will also be necessary, because we know that there are so many things that we can achieve if we have proper feedback process in place. And that's why, as a company, Edves, we don't joke with feedback. Even inside Edves as a software, I have a particular place where teachers go there to send me feedback directly. And in some cases, I call the teachers. So I don't leave. I mean, we have 68 staff in 10 different countries. So I don't wait until the report flow from the school down to me. No, sometimes I go there, I visit schools, I call teachers, I get to talk to them to know what is going on. So feedback process is going to be a big thing here. So when we ask for feedback, please quickly give us the feedback and let us see how we can make things better and how we can move forward, because there's no island of knowledge, and of which even what do I know in education? So you guys will still be the ones to lead us. I can remember, a few days ago, I've been invited. I got an invite for a speaking engagement in one of the schools in Lagos that I'll be speaking on artificial intelligence. And one of my key points in my preparation is that even if we are looking at artificial intelligence, that's something that is important and is good for us to integrate, we should also quickly position the teacher to lead the journey for us. Whatever we are doing in education space, if the teachers are not leading, if the educators are not leading, we're going to waste time for everybody. And that's why feedback process is very important. When students engage with AI, the report of the conversation with the artificial intelligence should be shared with the teachers, so that the teachers can create the right balance around the biases that the AI will bring. The AI is not a magic, it's a computer process algorithm where some data are somewhere, and the AI is using those data to respond back to you when you ask any question. So where the data are kept, there might be biases, but we still need the teachers to come and clean up the biases that the data is bringing up. So we need the teachers in all this technology, be it soft technology like Blackboard or anything, or very, very high-end technology like AI. Teachers are still needed. Feedback process, engaging it. Don't let us say, okay, this is a new thing and we don't know how it's going to be. Engage it, interact, just press anything, try it out. And then by the time you engage it, you'll be able to bring a lot of feedback into the entire process, and everybody will get better as we move forward. So Akim, Rishma, Fatima, I think I've been able to respond to this. Thank you very much. Yeah. Over to you, Akim. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Dimeji. Thank you for reinforcing. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hello,
yes, I can hear you very well.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you,
I
ma.
said thank you very much for reinforcing the importance of teachers and how with technology you're trying to make the teachers' workload lighter. So I think we'll answer some questions from the Black Belt, Olatunde David. You can unmute and ask your Olatunde David.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, good afternoon.
My question is actually directed to you, sir. I'm someone that is passionate about the grassroots level, and at the same time, I'm very, very much passionate about technology, especially how it can solve long-standing problems with respect to education. Now, I've worked with applications, I've worked with softwares and the likes that more or less relate that are kind of related to Elvis. But I'm having an issue because it's quite very much easy to interact. It's quite very much easy to penetrate into the private sectors. I mean, the private sectors when it comes to educational institution. But when we come to the grassroots level, especially those public schools, especially areas that cannot easily be accessible by technology, what is Edves' plan towards that level? That's one. Number two, public organization, I mean public schools and the likes, most of them are not being run on their own. They are being run by public, I mean the government, so to speak. So what is Elvis doing such that we'll be able to penetrate into these public figures, those ones that makes this educational policy and the like, so that it will be very, very much easy for these ones, I mean, learners, even students in the public sectors, especially in the underserved areas, to be able to get good use of this thing, because I presume they are even the one with much population. Imagine a teacher having about 70, 80 kids in the class, and then she attendance, marking of records and the like is a very big problem. Elvis software can really, really much help them so that they can be able to focus well. But this software too does not come handy just like that. It doesn't come cheap. So how do we penetrate into these public offices? Because they are the ones that makes this policy. Once this policy is being, or this program is being accepted by them, then it can be very much able to transmit into the public setting. So that's just my question. Is there a plan towards that, sir?
Okay, thank you very much for the question, and I really, really appreciate it. It's very, very good question. So what I have here, I will just respond. Grassroots penetration. I agree with you that there are quite a number of public schools in the grassroots. Some of the schools in the grassroots are also private schools. But I have been to a class of, seeing 120 students seats in the class and 80 students sit in the class, and they just one teacher teaching them. Even during the lockdown, we saw a lot of issues that have happened in the public schools where there's so many. I mean, if you private schools were still able to continue the learning, but public schools was more or less like there's nothing. We started this software in 2009, and as far back as 2011, 2013. We have been running a lot of pilot projects with state governments. I won't mention the name of any states, but quite a number of state governments. We have been running pilots with them, and we will finish the pilot. We'll submit the report to the government, and most of the time we have to even deploy for free in some states, where even by the time we deploy, there's some cases that we still have to get the device, get the internet for the teachers, for these things to work. But there's always a little to what we can do when there's no political will to actually back this kind of projects. But we are working to see how some of these things can be sponsored by grant donors, and so that at least we'll be able to have finance commitments into making it available to public schools, even if the governments are not responding quickly as expected. So it takes the government to actually decide to say, okay, we want to deploy this. And then even for Edves, we sell at average of $9 per annum per student. And even sometimes we quote for government at $1 per child, yet in a year. So yet we still don't have that kind of commitment from government. But from our own hand, we've had ourselves a lot of questions to say, let us even say Nigeria wants to use Edves today across the country. How is Edves going to work in Balogun village in Osun State? Rumo Omasi, Rumo Koro, all those, Warisa Pele and different parts of the country where there might not be internet, there might not be strong internet, there might not be power supply. But what we are seeing in the recent time is that even in all these remote locations, parents and teachers use WhatsApp. So that's why we have invested. We hired 2 very solid software engineers and we paid them heavily to build the mobile app of Edves in a way that the kind of internet dependency that the software is going to have will be lesser than what WhatsApp is using. And we have built it. This software, the teacher can use it for assessment. You don't even need a laptop. You don't even need a tablet. So long your phone can run WhatsApp, and in your city or in your town or in your village or anywhere you are in Nigeria, this app can help you do everything you want to do. Homework is there, result computation is there, calendar, attendance, everything. Formative assessment, summative assessment on Android, on iOS. This app is giving the power to the grassroots, because if WhatsApp can be used in those locations, then this Edves software can be used in those locations. We have built all these things. There are quite a number of things we've built also for grassroots that up to today, we have not seen adoption. There's something we built during the COVID-19 lockdown. We use, even up during these days, a lot of people are talking about chat GPT. As far back as during the lockdown, about 2019, 2020, we have used an AI algorithm to build a software called Key Points. I'm sure some of us might know the name Key Points. When we were young and when we were still in secondary school, there's a small leaflet that is always very small that has a lot of topics in it. They call it Key Points. People read it for revision for WAHEC, and that's the idea. So we use AI to actually grab the content of those books in line with different topics in Nigerian curriculum, so that students can use SMS to bring those content down to their phone without internet. So students can have access to the content supplied by AI from our server down to the phone without the need of internet connectivity. And this was built. We still have the software till today. Proposals flew all around. We tried to get to help, but it's always a challenge there. So maybe if you have the button, press the button for us. There's so many solutions we built in Edves that can actually help grassroots, but deployment is always a challenge. We are even ready. If it is going to cost us $5 to host a child on it for a year, we don't even mind. We can take it to $1. We can decide to take off our profit away from it and just make sure that these students that need these services through their teachers, through their parents, they have the right service. And we are ready to work with public schools, public sector schools. So, but when you talk to the government, you talk to private sector, the private respond faster. And then that's why we've been working with private schools a lot. But even outside Nigeria, we are in talk with Ghana. We met Ghanaian Ministry of Education last year. Also South Africa, Angola, and Kenya. We're talking to them as well on similar projects on how to make teachers work less burden using technology. So let me allow the next person to ask the question then. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dimeji. I don't know his name. It's saying Sanusi NGR. Can you unmute?
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I want to thank 1 million teachers and Mr. Dimeji Falana for a job well done. You are really making impact in our life, and I pray may Almighty God continue to strengthen you. I just want to add my own view to this because we deployed Edves into our school in Ikorodu here at the first Tenderwood school. And for the first time, when we the results to our parents from their offices at home, everywhere, they were just sending messages to the platform and everybody was happy. So I want to thank and appreciate the Edves for a job well done. They are trying, and I want to say kudos to them. May Almighty God continue to be with the Edves company. And even the teachers too.
Amen.
Don't complain again, things are going well, and you know, even my own comment too as head teacher of the school. So it's just automatic comment. It has really made the thing easier for me. So I want to tell everybody that if our schools have not really key into this, let's try to persuade our proprietors to also key into it so that they can also benefit from it. So thank you.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you. We don't know your name, but we
Mr.
can see a handwritten timetable.
I'm Maruf Sanusi from the first Edves school, Ikorodu.
Okay, all right. Are you going to digitalize your timetable that we can see behind you?
I can see it too.
Yes,
I'm sure Edves can find a solution for a handwritten timetable.
Yeah, we do that. We do that.
Okay.
Maybe you haven't actually upgraded to the package that can give you timetables.
Yes,
I think Mr. Sanusi, maybe during the Edves Catalyst, let's have a handshake, let's have a coffee together, because I'd like to know more about what you are doing in your school. So thank you very much. So that is just the feedback from a user, which I'm just meeting him for the first time. And so the work here is that I think we should not only transform the teaching and learning, but just to transform the whole school as teachers, because sometimes I have a lot of very, very senior people in the education space close to me, directors, and a couple of them that I know that they are really, really doing good work. They don't do some things without consulting the teachers, because there's so many knowledge with the teachers that we can tap into. And that is why I want us to know that we have this power, and we can use this power to transform the school. I want to tell you a story of what happened in Ikorodu during the lockdown. I won't mention the name of the school.
Good evening, Mr.
Dimeji. Hello.
Oh, listening.
Someone needs to mute. Yeah, someone needs to mute. Okay. So now, during the lockdown, the director of the school couldn't pay the salary of the teachers again. And you know what happened? The teachers, they sat down, they started a corporate, they looked into their cooperative, they brought out money from cooperative, they paid for Edves, they were using Edves to engage a few sets of students that their parents are able to pay. And then they turned the whole thing around. Instead of paying school fees per annum and per term, they were getting monthly payment from the parents. They changed the price of the school fees. The director almost like neglected the whole thing. And then the teachers took over. At the end of the day, when the COVID was over, they handed over the school back to the director with some profit they have made. And then the director now had to take back the school when the thing became stabilized. So because we teach, there are so much that we have so many capacities that that the moment we deploy those capacity beyond our classroom, we can actually impact the entire world. Look at it. Teachers actually stepped in to run the school when the directors ran away. There are so many things that teachers know that maybe because we feel like, okay, we have not been asked to do so, then let us keep it to ourselves. No, this is now the age that we need to now start bringing those things out. Start bringing those things out. There are so many schools that it will be the teacher that will say, I've seen Edves, I know what they are doing. Mrs. School owner, Mr. School owner, This is what we should do. And then they keep pressing for it until the school will say yes to them. Because the teachers actually know how to transform the life of the student, and they've seen how the software can help them do it because they are the ones that are using it every day. There are so many school directors that they don't even go to school every day, talk less of logging into a software or standing in front of a student to teach. There are some school owners that they don't actually they've not actually taught before. So the teachers in the classroom still have this power to transform everybody's life, even including the business of the school owner, especially in the private school. And now imagine the gap between the government officials and then the classroom in the public sector. So we need to unleash that our power. And that our power is to actually adopt different skills that can actually transform every school where we serve. Thank you.
Wow,
very
that's an
much.
amazing story. That's an amazing story of teachers that actually took action to change the school around. Amazing. Okay, we have a lot of people with their hands up. Rashida Sadiq will take you first. Rashida, you can unmute and speak. Rashida.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Sorry, I won't be able to have my video on at this time. Thank you so much, Dimeji, for sharing the stories, the motivation. We are powerful as teachers. So I have two questions. The first one is regarding, I think, what I would term mobility. So in my school where I teach at the moment, we already have school management software we're using. If I find out that Edves will serve us better, how do we move our previous information from where it is onto Edves? Is that something that is possible? Because I mean, students that graduated 3, 4, 5 years ago come around and ask for their transcript, and we get it from the school management software. That's the first question. Then the second question is regarding the fact that you mentioned that Edves is a learning management system. A thought came to my mind. At a point in time, I wanted to create an online course, and I was looking for a learning management system to use. I went to Thinkific, which was kind of very easy for me to upload my videos, create my course, especially because it also had this embedded financial thing that you could pay. Where I got stuck was the fact that Thinkific was collecting money in dollars, and I didn't have a dollar account. I don't have anything to do with dollars. So hearing that Edves may have a solution for me, and even hearing what those teachers in Ikorodu did, is it something that can work for those of us that want to create our own personal learning management, I mean, schools, basically online schools? Can we use Edves? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for that question. So I'll just try to, manage time now. So the first question is about migration. Yeah, it is actually possible. We've had schools that have been using about 3 to 4 different software before they join Edves. There are very, very top schools that they've actually been adopting a lot of solutions from UK, US, even before we started Edves long ago. But when they go to know that on Edves, you can actually have everything on learning management, everything on school management together in one place, they're able to join. And talking about migration, we have a team of support staff and then the engineers that will actually guide you through on how to do all this migration. So it's actually possible. This is not the first time we are having that. That is really, really possible. Just let us know. Like I said, I don't want to say too much because I'm not here to sell. We are here to interact. So please, you can reach out to us on this. Then concerning the online learning, the first intervention of Edves as a company is to actually migrate all our pen and paper to a digitized format online. So the second approach is to ensure that the digitized school can now sell courses and then sell classes in an unboxed way. What we've seen in this space is that there might be some parents in Rwanda that feel like they want to have some flavor of mathematics teaching from Nigeria, Lagos, and then they don't want to relocate to Nigeria because of the school is in Lagos. So they want a situation whereby their kids will still continue to school in Rwanda, but they want to enroll for mathematics in Lagos because of the standard of that that school when it comes to mathematics and student performance generally. So we have decided to unbox the school to say, you can actually sell your math class to anybody in the world. You can actually sell your chemistry class alone to anybody in the world. And we built a solution for that. So it's our marketplace solution. Even if you go now to pl.edves.net, you see that the product is ready and a lot of people are talking about finance collection. The way we do our digital transformation, we consider a lot. And on that product, we take collection in Naira, we take it in pounds, we take it in USD, because as I'm talking to you, we have schools that are actually looking into these products here, even in the UK, that they are going to use the product to be teaching students all across the globe. We have schools that want teachers from Nigeria. They have parents in the UK. The parents want their kids to be able to speak Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. And then they want to use the platform to be able to sell these courses to parents in the UK and then have teachers teach from Nigeria. So because the world is a global village, so the teachers can sit somewhere and then sell courses anywhere in the world. So, and schools also can do the same. So we have a lot of schools on the platform and we have a lot of independent teachers that are already signed up on that platform, and the fee collection, everything is there. It doesn't depend. I mean, it doesn't matter any currency within this pounds, dollar, Naira, and we have capacity to also add other currency because our own infrastructure allow us to do so much more as the need arise. So we are not rigid in any sense. Yeah. I think people are dropping questions on the chat as well. Maybe we
okay, should... yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's just deal with the last person with their hand up. Okimuti Priscilla Idiru. Okimuti Priscilla Idiru, can you lower your okay, unmute? Okay.
Good evening, ma. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Priscilla. Go ahead with your question. Your question for Dimeji.
Actually, I came late to the meeting, and I've heard a lot about what Mr. Dimeji has said. I don't want to commend him. Actually, Mr. Rashida have asked the question I wanted to ask. So I just want to commend Mr. Dimeji for the well.
Okay, she's already asked the question. Okay, fine. All right, let's look at the chat then. Thank you. So let's read the questions in the chat. How is it installed in an internet compliant phone?
Okay. I'm also trying to get the question. How is it installed? Just like the way we install mobile app from Play Store. So
just download it.
Just install it from Play Store. So if you have iOS phone, if you have a Android
Play
phone,
Store.
You just go to Play Store, search for Edves and install. But the thing is, if your school is not using Edves today, you won't be able to have access. But there's something we are bringing in a couple of days that even though we might not have access to everything, but you still have access to some free resources that can help you to do some STEM simulation and everything on your phone. So, and also during Edves Catalyst, I want to believe all of us will be in Nigeria, all of us will be in Lagos. So during the Edves Catalyst event, we're also bringing internet capacity to be able to allow at least 1,000 teachers download the mobile app and synchronize the resources that are available on the app for offline usage, so that even if what you can synchronize out of about 200 different resources we have there, you can synchronize 50. And then that 50, even if you don't have connectivity on your phone for the next 1 month or two, you can still use the offline version you have synchronized when you get to your school, and then you can use it to teach. So that's just what I want to say on that. Thank you. Do we have any other question coming? Okay. 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 Okay, is Edves Catalyst physical? Yes, Edves Catalyst events It's a 2-day event. The first day, that is June 2nd, is online, which anywhere you are, you can connect. We are all going to be in a studio with our speakers, and then you can connect on internet, on Facebook. I mean, we live stream on almost all the social media. Just look for the registration link. We're going to share the registration link of the event. So once you register, you'll be invited to join online for day 1. That is the 2nd of June. Then the 3rd of June, that is when we are going to have the live events at the Landmark Event Center in Lagos, which is going to be run, which is going to run from morning till around 4 p.m. thereabouts. So every year, the reason for actually having this program is for us to have physical interaction and discuss around some of the challenges, that contemporary challenges and then traditional challenges that are affecting our work generally. So when you are filling the form, you are going to also put in your expectations so that we can crunch all this data together and give you quality experience. So
sorry, my internet connection went off.
Oh, okay. So I can see that you are back. You can see that Akim is here, Nicole is here, and quite a number of speakers are coming. And then the event's location is Landmark Event Center. And then some of the things that are available for the event is, number 1, the event is free 100%. We are not charging a dime for teachers. Last year, we started something as well. What we did last year, we noticed that there are quite a number of people that live a bit far away from the location of the event. So we divided Lagos into 6 regions, and then we hired 12 coastal buses that can seat 25 people each. So we sent 2 of these coastal buses to 6 different locations, and we were able to gather at least 50 people from Muward or Finside, 50 people from Mowe, Ibafo, from Ikorodu, from Epe, from different Limonshaw, all the way to Ikeja last year. So this year, we are looking at using 24 different coastal buses for free. And then you're not going to pay a dime. Our people will be there to take you from your bus stop, drive you down to VHI, and then when you get there, the event is free, you enter. There's a tea break, then there's a proper lunch for everybody, and there's still a number of souvenirs that we are going to make available for you for this event. And then when we are done by 4, everybody, the bus that you follow down, will also take you back to your bus stop, so that there's no cost for you to attend this event. And if you're coming
from that's fantastic. Thank you. All right, I think just two more questions we'll take. Vincent Kwano and Ishmael Ogbeche. Vincent, you had your hand up, and Ishmael had his hand up.
Good evening.
Good evening, Vincent.
I think my question has been answered. I was about asking what's happening to those outside Nigeria when it comes to the Catalyst program, but then it seems you have to join only on the first day online, so that we also feel it.
Yeah, Vincent, I want to add something to that. Edves is selling in 10 African countries. We have incorporation in Ghana and Rwanda, and also in Nigeria and US. So we are spreading, and then we'll be having different events at different locations, which one of the things we'll be doing together with 1 Million teachers is that we have 3 major programs: Edves Catalyst, SGA, that's School Growth Academy, then we have School Growth Luncheon, which all these programs, as you are traveling around the country and also traveling around the continent, we will be going with 1 Million teachers. And then whenever we are coming to your country, we'll let you know which country are you connecting from, Vincent. Let me even know, maybe we have had an event in your country before.
Please, I'm in Ghana, please.
Oh, can you imagine? That's good. Vincent, don't worry. Don't let me go into detail, but September, something big is happening in Ghana, and myself and Akim have been discussing about this. We're going to have something very, very massive that is going to happen in Ghana. We've had events in Ghana, we've had events in Liberia, we've had events in Tanzania, we've had events in Zambia, we've had events in Rwanda, and different places. And this year we'll have events in different other parts, even to the tune of going to Egypt, South Africa, and Kenya. That's how we are thinking about this journey. So Edves event is not only about Nigeria, but this Catalyst event is just the biggest one that we have only in Lagos. So, but everything, even day 1, day 2 will still be live stream. Even the day 2 that even you can't make it, you can just grab your own cup of coffee or tea or popcorn. You can sit in front of your devices and then watch every detail of the event, because last year it was just all online, and then you can always have the same experience, similar experience to what you can have even when you come in person. But the only thing is that we can't serve you food online. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can't wait to have you here in Ghana on September. We'll be waiting for you. But then we have gotten more black belts in Ghana so that we come in our numbers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, the Ghana people, like we show up bigly when we see a critical mass of educators, and we challenge you guys. Don't let Kenya and Nigeria people oppress you guys, and Rwanda. Rwanda, it's a fantastic case in the sense that Rwanda's population is 10 million, yet they punch way above their weight. And it's not about numbers, it's about capacity of people, you understand? And the whole idea is how can we grow our tribe? How can we grow as many black belts as possible, capable educators? How many people in this group today could look, project into the future and say, yep, I see myself within 10 years to be a director of education. You're eventually going to leave the classroom where you can even make bigger impact, be part of the budget, be part of the decision making. But if you don't understand where the shoe pinches, how are you going to solve education problem in your community? See, education is a wicked problem. What we have, it's not going to go away in 10 years, neither is it going to go away in 20 years. We're always going to be playing catch up. You know why? Because the real world, things are moving so fast, and education is struggling to keep up. You understand? But technology enables us to at least be somewhat relevant in the whole thing. Otherwise, we'll be left behind. And we have a big opportunity here. As you guys already know, some of us this is what we signed up for, and it's for life. There is nowhere we're going. We're going to be in these trenches together for as long as we can, you understand, to build ourselves up. So Dimeji, thank you so much. I know we could go on and on.
One more question. Ishmael, your question, quickly.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Dimeji. Now, my question is very simple. I happen to be one of the persons that plan the timetable for my school. That is the school timetable. And most of the time, we always have the problem of lessons clashing, and this will take us for almost half of the term before things like that will be resolved. So my question is, this adverse technology, can it solve situation like this timetable clashing and be able to set it in such a way that there will be no issues? That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Akim used the word, it's a wicked problem. I think timetable, timetabling for courses is actually one of those wicked problems in education, which can really be crazy to solve. But I am bold to talk about it this afternoon because I actually wrote that part of the software on Edves where you can actually set your period, set your days, set the priorities of courses, and then at the end of the day, you'll be able to grab the right timetable for your school without any clashing. So just let's have a conversation. You can place a demand, and Dimeji said this, and then you would like to interact with Dimeji on how this can be solved. Bring your timetable, and then let us use the model on Edves to roll it out, and let's see the kind of result you are going to get. I believe you'll be happy at the end of the day. So it's available on Edves. Thank you.
Okay, so I think that's all for today. It's been a really informative session. Thank you so much, Dimeji. I think they're all looking forward to the Edves Catalyst event in a couple of weeks' time, because we're nearly in May and it's in June. So, and we hope you'll be having a a great time with all of them during the event. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Fatima. Yeah, Fatima. So just to add, so the Lagos graduation is going to be even more exciting in the sense that it's happening in the same venue where the Edves Catalyst event is going to happen. And in addition to the celebration, we have almost 300 now, I think. Arinze can confirm that, from Lagos. Mainly about 99% of them are from Lagos. And then we have in Ogun State and Ibadan.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and then we have a program with LASU and LASUED. So those black belts from those universities are also going to be part of it, along with Ministry of Education officials. So you guys are going to also be on the stage. All the black belts that are going to be graduating, they're going to be on the large Edves stage. In addition to, so we're essentially going to come down to the big Edves stage to celebrate you guys, and it's just going to be massive. We're looking at close to 5,000 attendees for this year. I think there is no better platform to celebrate you guys. You guys just got very lucky that the timing and everything is happening together. So it's also part of the Edves program.
Wow, that sounds really fantastic. I wish I could be there, but unfortunately, I can't. Wow.
This
awesome.
was last year.
Okay.
Akim, can I throw the link to
register? Yes,
for
exactly. Yeah.
So you are going to be standing in front of like times 2 or times 3 of these people to graduate, and I will also be there, and it's going to be a well-defining moment for everybody. So I'll drop the link for Edves Catalyst registration. Don't register alone. Try to share with your friends, the people you mentor, the people in your network, educators. We can take as much as, so long you can be in Lagos, then we'll be able to get anybody. We'll be able to get you down to the event. Just register and indicate your traveling needs and any location, and we'll be able to drive you down. And even if you are not in Lagos that day, still register, because if you indicate your country when we are having our event in any of this, because I don't want to go into detail of what we are doing, so that there's a mood that we CEO get to, that to look like we are just selling our company. But there are so many things we are trying to do. Akim is aware of many of this. So, but just register and be in that in that database, so that we don't miss you. We don't miss you don't miss out in any of these things. I also shared the link of many of our events last year, 2 years ago, in Port Harcourt, Enugu, Abeokuta, Accra, Ghana, Kigali, Harare, and so many places. Harare, even in Zimbabwe. So you can check some of these videos and just stay connected, register, share the link with people, and then be a part of this. And it's a room for opportunity for everybody. Like I told Akim, I said it's a sheer prosperity, and then we have commitments. We have commitment towards this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dimeji. Thank you. That was fantastic, really informative section. Okay, that's all for today. All right. So we'll see you again another time. Thank you again, Dimeji, for sharing your time and your expertise with us. Thank you, Black Belt, for joining. Okay, that's all for today. I'm going to stop.
Thank you for inviting me. Let us keep the good work going.
Yes, we will. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.